Shalom, more praise to Yahweh Shemel Shah, double line, say positive GMS. This is I'm Nawa Allah coming at you in the video. And in this video, I'm going to focus on the book of Proverbs, chapter 24, verse 16. So, this scripture, let's get right to it. It says, "For a just man falleth 7 times and riseth up again, but the wicked shall fall into mischief." Now, we got that part. The wicked shall fall into mischief. So, a wicked is going to fall and they're going to fall into mischief. They're going to fall into destruction. But it says, "A just man falleth 7 times and riseth up again." This is such a deep scripture that I might do another video on this. I might do another video on this, man. But let's get into it. Now it says 7 times. First, let's look at the significance of 7. Now this is I typed in, what does 7 mean in the Bible, which we already know what 7 means: completion. In the Bible, the number 7 primarily signifies completion, perfection, and divine fullness. This symbolism is established from the beginning when the Most High, which we know is that Yahweh and angels, created the world in 6 days and rested on the 7th, meaning he ceased from creation, making 7 a representation of a complete and finished creation. It is also linked to rest and fulfillment, as seen in the observance of the Sabbath and in the biblical narratives, where 7 years represent a period of completion, as in the story of Jacob serving Laban for 7 years. So you understand what 7 means. So it says, "A just man falleth 7 times," meaning a complete amount of time, meaning multiple times. It doesn't literally mean 7. So a just man is going to continually, you're going to go off. You're going to make mistakes. We're men. We're not perfect. You know what I'm saying? But remember, it said, "But the wicked shall fall into mischief." So when the wicked falls, that's it. They fall and they crumble. But when the just man falls, he won't rise again. Okay? He's not going to crumble. The Most High Yahweh Shemel Shah is going to give him the strength to stand. Alright? And we all have experience with this. Psalms 34:19. "Many are the afflictions of the righteous." So the righteous go through a lot of afflictions, man. The righteous catch a lot of hell. "Many are the afflictions of the righteous, but the Lord delivereth him out of them all." So the righteous is going to catch a lot of hell. The righteous is going to go through a lot of affliction. You know, that's a part of this thing. You know? That's a part of this thing. But Yahweh Shemel Shah delivered them out of them all. So he's going to be delivered. He's going to fall and rise again. "He keepeth all his bones, not one of them is broken." Which, you know, Yahweh Shah on the cross, you know, none of his bones were broken. But us as well. You know, none of our bones are going to be broken. I don't mean none of our bones are going to physically be broken. As Yahweh Shah on the cross it was, you know, his leg, they wanted to break his legs, but his legs wasn't broken. But he keepeth all of our bones. So he keepeth all his bones, not one of them is broken. In other words, the Most High is going to protect us, make sure we're secure. Okay? This is the book of Psalms 52:2. "Cast thy burden upon Yahweh Shemel Shah." So we got to cast our burdens upon Yahweh Shemel Shah, because we're just men. We're limited in what it is that we're capable of. So it's only but so much that we can carry. So for that which we cannot carry, we got to call upon Yahweh Shemel Shah to carry our burdens. Okay? To strengthen us in our time of need. That's very important. We got to do that. "He shall never suffer the righteous to be moved." He's not going to allow us to be moved. He's not going to allow us to crumble. Though we fall, we will rise again through the spirit of Yahweh Shemel Shah. Alright? "But thou, Yahweh Shemel Shah, shall bring them down into the pit of destruction." That's the wicked. "Bloody and deceitful men shall not live out half their days, but I will trust in thee." So the wicked, they're going to fall and they're going to be brought down to the pit of destruction. But we will trust in Yahweh Shemel Shah, that when we cast our burdens upon him, he will allow us to be able to stand. You ever was carrying something heavy and somebody helped you? Did not that lighten the load physically? Well, guess what? If it's something heavy that we need to be carried, Yahweh Shemel Shah will lighten that load spiritually. And that's very important. That's what we need. Because there's going to be them times when we're weak. And this is what being spiritual comes in. You know, everything is all about knowing deep scriptures and deep breakdowns. That's cool. But, you know, this is important as well. 1 Corinthians 10 and 12. Wherefore let him that thinketh he standeth take heed lest he fall. The better word standeth.
Strong's G 2476. Histemi.
Histemi. To cause or to make the stand. To cause or make the stand, to place, put, set. Let's see if we can scroll down. So it means to continue. It just means to stand, right? To uphold, to sustain the authority or force of anything. To stop, stand still, to stand immovable, to stand firm. Continue safe and sound. Okay? Doesn't really give you much there. So, but ultimately means to be stable, right? Of quality, one who does not hesitate, does not waver. Now you got that word fall, right?
Strong's G 4098. Pipto. Pipto.
Pipto. It says to descend from a higher place to a lower. To fall out, fall from, i.e. shall perish or be lost. To lose authority, no longer have force. So, if to be cast down from a state of prosperity, see? So to fall or to fall down, fall into ruin. Shall to fall out, fall from, i.e. shall perish or be lost. So if to fall means to perish or be lost, or to fall out, or to cast down from a state of prosperity, to fall from a state of uprightness, then that means what? If any man thinketh he standeth, will be the opposite of a person that falls into ruin. So if any man thinketh he standeth, if any man has this mentality that he's just this great man, this idea of being prideful, putting himself on a pedestal, overconfident. He needs to take heed, he needs to pay close attention, lest he falls into ruin, lest he falls out, lest he falls from that state of uprightness, lest he falls into from that state of prosperity. Why? Because there had no temptation taken you, but such as is common to man. So the common man goes through various temptations like we do. But the Most High is faithful, who will not suffer you to be tempted above that ye are able. So you got to take heed lest you fall, because something like this could happen to you. But will, with the temptation, also make a way to escape, that you may be able to bear it. Because, hey, you got to take heed. You got to take heed, because if you think you stand there, you just might fall. And you may be overtaken by temptation. So we got to take heed of this. Understand, there's no temptation you're going through that's not common to man. But the Most High is faithful. He's not going to suffer you to be tempted above what you are able. Understand that. Okay? So you might be going through something that's tough, but pray to Yahweh Shemel Shah. And in time, the Most High will be a strength to overcome it. Okay? He's going to make a way for you to escape, so that you may be able to bear it. Remember, we just read the scripture, cast your burdens upon Yahweh Shemel Shah. That's an example. You cast your burdens upon Yahweh Shemel Shah. That's an example. When you cast your burdens upon Yahweh Shemel Shah, He's going to allow you to escape that temptation. Okay? Got the word escape.
Strong's G 1545. Ekbasis.
It just says an egress, way out, exit. Applied figuratively to the way of escape from temptation, the issue referring to the end of one's life. Egress. Like even in construction, they got something called access and egress. Egress is when you're leaving out. So access is like when you're accessing a particular place. Egress is when you're leaving out. So you're gonna provide a way for you to escape that temptation. So let me give one more scripture, because as you can see, my phone is on 2%. This is the book of Matthew, chapter 26, verse 41. Watch and pray that you enter not into temptation. So we gotta watch and pray that we enter not into temptation. The spirit indeed is willing, but the flesh is weak. So the spirit wants to do that which is right, fight, be righteous, but the flesh is weak. And sometimes when you sometimes people can fall into the
Strong's G 3986. Parasmas.
Sometimes people can fall into temptation. and be overtaken by it. That's mas. It says temptation, i.e. trial of the Most High by men, rebellion against the Most High, which is power and justice are, as the word puts it, to proof and challenge to show themselves. Adversity, affliction, trouble sent by the Most High and servant to test or prove one's character, faith, holiness. The trial of man's fidelity, integrity, virtue, constancy. I can read on, but that's the point there. So with all that, I'm going to close and say, oh, praise you. How about Shemiel Shah? Double line, see Apostle GMS. Righteous man, a just man falls 7 times, but riseth again. So keep these scriptures in mind. So with that, I'm going to say, oh, praise you. How about Shemiel Shah? Double line, see Apostle GMS. I hope you've been learning something. Shalom.